Okay, I really don't know what to wear. I haven't bought myself clothes. I haven't made myself clothes. As a designer, I shouldn't be suffering gangaga. I should have my own clothes by now. But I guess it's part of the journey. Guys, good morning. I finally just got to campus. I have a meeting with... Let's go now. So why is it so? Let's go. But yes, I have a meeting with the marketing manager of the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture. Her name is Tamara. I forgot her name, but her name is Tamara. And I'm running late. I'm not running late. Like 10 minutes early, which is not so bad. I don't look too bad, but like I said, I didn't know what to wear. And this is just a quick briefing for the exhibition that I'm going to be doing for FADA, being the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture at UJ. As an alumnus, let's see what we can do. Let's do great things. I'm just checking with the ankle. I just hope I don't forget anything. But let me make my way. I should probably start this. Goodbye. See you guys later. So the meeting was quite a success. I am happy about that. It was so lovely meeting her. She's such an amazing lady. Beautiful soul. I'm just having my breakfast, guys. I haven't eaten today. I have not eaten. And today you guys are gonna get to watch me eat, because that's what I do all the time. I eat. So we were just discussing how we're going to kind of like execute the garment, or the costume rather. We're going to make a beautiful velvet mermaid dress with a heavy Daniel Roseberry influence. If you guys don't know Daniel Roseberry is the creative director for Schiaparelli. You guys should check it out. Probably just gonna put some pictures somewhere here to show the reference of the kind of work that we're going to be doing. So it was a good one. It was a good meeting. Full support, actually. I'm quite happy. Full support with the design, full support with the concept, because I did put in the work. To make sure that my concept is solid. I did put in the work to make sure that it makes sense, because there's nothing I hate more than explaining myself. And I tend to find myself in that kind of situation a lot, where I have to like over-explain and try to give different perspectives of whatever it is that I'm trying to explain at that point. I guess that's why we are going into education, which is good. I'm excited about that. But now I'm just waiting for my class to start, which is at 1. What time is it now? I think it's around 11ish. Yeah, but we're good to go. Guys, the part that I dread the most about this campus. The steep is so long, unnecessarily so. But I guess we do need the workout at the end of the day.
want you to think, what would you do with it? You could think about if it was grade 10, maybe it's just an introduction to jewelry design, maybe it's just an introduction to portrait.
Okay, I just got back. What is it? It was an extremely long day, first and foremostly. But at least we managed to get all of those things out of the way. Managed to have the meeting with the marketing manager of the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture, which is Tamara Francis. After that, I attended my classes as you guys saw. And those classes drag. Those classes drag. Those classes are real drag. But it's okay. It's gonna be worth it. I know it's definitely gonna be worth it. But so I just decided that as a first video, I'm just gonna give you guys like some insight as to who I am as an individual. So this is like a low-key, what do they call it? Get to know me, bro. You know, it's a get to know me. So I'm gonna be answering like a few questions. I don't know, I think I have like 20, but something like that. And I'm gonna try to answer them like as quick as possible because I can get quite long-winded. Yeah, but my brother is going to be asking me all of these questions.
I was up to the front door. Hey, Julie!
We're fair, you.
Your full name and what does it mean?
My full name is Malungelo Myeza. Malungelo meaning human rights. So it is. I was born like what 1995. Letting people know my age. 1995. And in 1995 was when the new and just dispensation had been released, right? The end of apartheid and all of that. So my parents are very political, right? And you know, they were just like, or call our child Malungelo. And because I was born on the 26th of June, which was the day the Human Rights Charter was signed, hence Malungelo. Yeah. Next.
2 days after the Springboks won.
2 days the Springboks won. They won. 1995 was an essential year for South Africa.
Where are you from and how has that influenced your creativity?
Where am I from? I am from Mpumalanga Witbank in Malahleni. That is my hometown. That's where I grew up. Most of my family is based there. It influenced my creativity in a way that if I can tell you one thing, they know how to romanticize things. They're quite dramatic in everything that they do. They're theatrical in everything that they do. Yeah, Felix Castle. No, for some odd reason. But yeah, you know, it's a small town where a lot of people everybody knows each other summarily. Like everyone was either friends or went to school with a family member, so on and so forth. So it's a very small intertwined town in Mpumalanga. And because of that, hearing all of the stories and things that happen over there, you know, and the people that you hear it from, like you can read it off of the news, but like when you hear it from the people from there, then it kind of makes sense. So Witbank and Malahleni it hypes me up with the romanticizing. It really, really, really does. Very theatrical town.
What inspired you to start House of Myeza?
What inspired me to start my clothing brand was a dream, actually. Did I ever tell you about this dream? It was a weird day, and I know, but I also want to tell you, it was a very weird day. One day, I think it was the beginning of social media, actually, like the beginning of Instagram and all of these things, like back in 2014. In 2014, I started getting exposed to a lot of clothes, so I was like chubby, right? I was like chubby. After matric, I just gained a lot of weight, and I I loved exploring as to what clothes can I find that would suit me best and my weight. So Pinterest and Instagram were kind of like the main thing at that time. Facebook was starting to get boring. So I'd always be there, like looking for different clothes, different styles that maybe would suit my body. And one night I went to bed and I had a very, very intense dream, like emotionally so. Like I saw this, like I was in a white room in this dream. It was a white room, completely white, and there was in the middle of it a royal blue suit, like a tailored woman's dress, and it was royal blue, like the kind I'll find a reference and I'll put it somewhere here. But that contrast of the blue and that white, it just stayed with me. And the next morning I was like, let me try, and because I've always been about making my dreams come true because they're so surreal, so I really want to try and see if I can bring them to this world. So I woke up and I was like, let me try to make it. Let me try to make something. I've never touched a sewing machine. I'd never sketched before. I'd never done a single thing. So based on a hunch, that was literally just a dream. And me and my friends used to make a joke, right? To say that, what if you were just supposed to make that one comment and move on with your life? Like, what if you were supposed to, but no, because I've always been like a creative. I've always enjoyed making stuff with my hands, crafting things. I was like, okay, if there's anything I'm gonna choose to identify with, it will be clothing, because I feel like clothes speak for you before you can even open your mouth. So then I started sketching, I started illustrating, and I started showing my friends back at Boston Media House. I was doing my media studies, business admin and media. And my friends were like, go ahead, they were very supportive, go ahead, pursue it. And then I pursued it. And 10 years later, this year, end of this year is 10 years. 10 years later, 10 years later, we're here.
Describe your personal style in 3 words.
My personal style in 3 words. I don't like the attention. Funny enough, I'd rather get the attention from me, my mind, the things that I say, the things that I speak to people. I prefer attention from that than through my clothing. And I feel like that's why I usually go for like a minimalist approach in a way for myself. But when it comes to my designs, I always try to go like out of this world, funny enough. But yeah, for me, it's all black, or I'm just looking simple. I just like looking simple because I really don't want to pull the attention to my attire, because I don't want you all looking at me like that. It's not about me, it's about what I can do.
I feel like you answered the next question, but what is the story behind your first fashion design?
The story behind my first fashion design, it was weird. Instagram influenced. First of all, it was a dungaree. I'll find the picture. Do you remember those Scotch dungarees? Yeah, me and my other brother, Usman Ali, so we were like, no, let's get into sewing. And we started sewing, we were sewing. And then we were like, let's try to make these dungarees. I think I tried making those dungarees for like months, long fambula. Learning from YouTube, learning from literally just YouTube. How to make a pair of pants. I didn't even know how to draft a pattern. I didn't know how to, I knew how to sketch. But then the inspiration behind that was practically, formal wear was really in at the time. That was like 2015, 2014. There was a new evolution of like formal attire. And I wanted to experiment a bit with that based on what we have. And I was walking around town and I saw this tartan fabric, which is like a Scottish inspired fabric. And I was like, it would be quite interesting to actually make like a Scottish dungaree. And I did. And that's really just it. It was just a challenge for myself.
What influences your creative process the most?
Lack influences my creative process. Not having. I think when I have an abundance, I struggle to create. Because then I'm not being creative. Things are just happening because there is there is this, there's fabric, there's that. But when there is no fabric, or when I don't have something, for an idea maybe, then my brain kind of like goes into hyperfixation mode of trying to figure out what can we use to substitute that original idea that I had in mind. And that's kind of where it comes from. That's really where it comes from. Summarily, yeah.
Okay. If you could collaborate with any designer, dead or alive, who would it be?
Funny enough, I think I consider him as a businessman more than a designer, but Baloyi, Batu, definitely. Mr. Baloyi, I would definitely love to collaborate with Mr. Baloyi. Because first of all, I think I appreciate what he's doing for Black business owners, especially in the clothing space. He's creating a space for us to be able to exist and be creative, you know. That's number one. Number two would probably be Tipo Jeans. Definitely Tipo Jeans, and those are the few people. But third, give me three. Number one would be Batu. Number two would be Tepo. Number three would be Tebe Makubu. Definitely those three.
How do you balance cultural heritage with modern fashion trends?
So how I do that, I have an obsession with like movies and like series from like a very early age. I feel like the 95 generation was heavily influenced by television. It was the introduction of DSTV. It was, you know, cartoons, you always had like options, shows, you always had a lot of options. So a lot of like African inspired shows, for example, your first production of Shaka Zulu, a lot of theatrical, like you know, all of these different shows that used to play on like your SABC 1, SABC 2, a lot of those experiences, you know, SABC 3 as well. A lot of those shows and a lot of the movies that I used to watch as a kid. Video Town. Do you know Video Town? Video Town. Every Friday I knew that me and my parents were going to Video Town. They were gonna hire 3 movies. One is gonna be mine, one is gonna be my mom's selection, one is gonna be my dad's selection. And I always look forward to the weekend because of that. So a lot of movies and a lot of shows kind of like played a role in my design process in a way. So I would watch them, and now in modern day I would try to like blend it into how we can incorporate it in modern fashion and modern art and modern creativity as a whole. But yeah, that's about it.
What is your favorite piece you've ever designed and why?
My favorite, it's this jacket. My favorite piece is this jacket. My favorite piece is this jacket. This is my favorite jacket. It's the best thing I've ever done. And it was actually for like my 3rd year, no, not 3rd year. It was my post-grad jacket, inspired by Isindebele, being my mother's culture, the tribe that my mother came from, which is the Ndebele tribe. So it was inspired by the Ndebele blanket. You can see the colors. We have red, we have blue, we have yellow, a lot of vibrant colors, and a lot of beadworks as well, and some jacquard trims that kind of like added more depth to the design than it just being a patchwork jacket. But yes, this, I'm happy about this. I am very happy about this.
What has been the most rewarding moment in your fashion journey so far?
The most rewarding moment of my fashion journey was 2023 when we hosted our 2nd exhibition at the Fashion Capital. Initially, it was supposed to be at the University of Johannesburg. However, we had like some issues, misunderstanding, and then I had to like make a decision on my feet, like in an hour, as to where we're gonna go, because we can't cancel. All the models are here, the team is here, makeup hadn't arrived, but everyone was there, you know. So I was like, we can't cancel it, and I sent like 250 invites out. There's no way I'm gonna disappoint 250 people. That's just bad karma. So I had to make a quick plan. And the fact that we could manage to do that in the space of like 4 hours, the show was in 4 hours time. and we had to call everyone on the guest list. We had to email all those 250 people. Some that we couldn't get, we had to email. Some that we couldn't, summarily, we just had to get everyone there, and it was full house. It was full house. We had, wow, it was full house. People were standing, and I was shook, especially considering that this was like in the CBD. You'd think a lot of people would be like too nervous to come through to town or something like that. But boy oh boy, was it packed, and it was a complete success. It felt good having to think creatively. Like I said earlier, coming from a place of lack, you're able to then make a plan quickly based on that.
What challenges have you faced as a designer in South Africa?
Red tapes. There's so many weird red tapes that really don't make any sense. Like, I feel like as a designer, you should be allowed to do anything that you want to do. As a creative, you should be allowed to do anything that you want to do that enhances your creativity or aids it in any way. But in South Africa, there's so many, I hate you have to kiss a lot of you have to, kind of like be submissive, especially for designers, considering that designers and their egos are, it's another story, that one. But that's just been it. Like having to bring yourself down, that's been the biggest challenge. Red tapes and that. Having to submit and the red tapes that exist in this industry.
What's one misconception people have about being a fashion designer?
People think it's glamorous. It's really not cute. It's really, really not nice. It's not glamorous. You're not part of the glamour. You create it. So you create the concept of glamour or the concept of luxury or of beauty or whatever it is that you think is beauty. But in creating that, there's so much work. You have to organize the photographers. You have to design the set. You have to envision it. Try and think what kind of story you're trying to tell and how it all works together to communicate one narrative. There's nothing cute about it. You're in sweatpants most of the time. You're really in glasses. You're in normal clothes because you really don't have the time to be like. If you're trying to be efficient, if you're really trying to be efficient, you're not dolled up in this fashion industry. Anyone who's dolled up, and I know they're gonna be upset. Anyone who's dolled up is focused more on them being dolled up than their actual job. I can tell you that.
Okay, now some personal and fun questions. What's something people don't know about you?
Something that people don't know about me. People underestimate how much I know about things. I know a lot of things about things. I grew up watching a lot of documentaries, acquiring a lot of information. I think from the early age of 9, 10, 11, 12, going upwards, I was a documentary kid. I still am till today. And therefore I know a lot of things about about religion, about media, about government, about business, about corporate. I understand a lot of things, and I walk into a room and people see me probably dressed like this and they're just like, whatever, this is just a normal guy. And I'm just like, nah, I cannot have that happen. Okay, so yes, people underestimate what I know, and people think I'm just like your average boy, and I have quite a plethora of knowledge or information about everything. Encyclopedias were forced on us. Encyclopedias as well. Our granddad used to have a lot of encyclopedias. He had a thesaurus. Remember that big thesaurus? It's a thesaurus. It's not a dictionary. Don't walk around with a dictionary.
The biggest thesaurus on earth.
It was a thesaurus. So knowledge, gaining knowledge has always been an important thing in my family from childhood.
If you were a fashion designer, what would you be doing?
I would be in legal. And I'd be in legal on the music side of things. I've always had a love for music. Music has always, even till today, it's where I draw a lot of my inspiration as well. The music industry as a whole, I would have probably been a media consultant, or I would have just been consulting for media. That's it, just PR. Yeah.
What's your dream travel destination and why?
My dream travel destination, I did not think that one through. my dream travel destination would have to be New York. No, New York is another Joburg. I definitely think the Maldives. The Maldives would be that. But for work, like inspiration, where I draw a lot of inspiration, I would love to travel the whole of Africa and building a collection based on every single country that I visit and trying to get like the most accurate representation of what it is that they do or their culture or heritage. Yeah.
What music or artists keep you inspired?
Oh. Maskandi.
Bona teo makitazeng ngakhona maskandi kudala ukuthi hayi ngathi ulo wompokotelo wena ulo wangani.
Maskandi, number one. Number two, can I explain why? Look, as a Zulu man, I've also come to realize that, and in the age of delusion, I've come to learn that we are quite delusional in who we are as a nation, and not even like a delusion that is incorrect, but we have such a strong sense of pride and strong sense of I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to. People like saying that Zulu people running Nkani, and that's definitely true. And without that resilience, Nkani is resilience. Without that resilience, I don't think we would have done as much as we've done as a nation or as a tribe. We achieved quite a lot, and we still continue to strive to achieve a lot, you know. So yeah, what was the question?
It was what music or artists keep you inspired?
Maskandi, number one. Number two would definitely be pop. Pop is a genre that I absolutely love. I know Beyonce has always been at the forefront. I'm so sorry, I'm gonna be a fag like that. Beyonce has always been at the forefront. Her delusions as well. Everything that she's done and everything that she's accomplished today just existed in her head. It was never real, you know. But here we are today. Beyonce is winning so many Grammys. Beyonce is winning so many awards, you know, for just being herself and doing what she wants to do. So yeah, her music definitely inspires me, or her delusions rather inspire me.
If you could dress any celebrity, who would it be?
Shit. Oh, right now, Black Coffee. Right now, Black Coffee. I would love to dress Black Coffee. Black Coffee. To dress, let me think. Cyril. And Cyril Ramaphosa. I would love to dress Cyril Ramaphosa.
What is next for the House of Myeza?
What is next for the House of Myeza? Bulldozing. We are breaking down a lot of barriers. I think the one thing, like I said earlier, I hate red tape. I hate limitations for creatives because that's how you lose them. That's how you get to lose a lot of creatives to like drugs or gangs, because you kind of like don't create that space for them to do exactly what it is that they want to do. They're creative. They just want to create. They want to be able to make. So if you're gonna deprive them of that, of course they're gonna fall along the wayside. So for me, it's breaking down all of those walls for creatives to say that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. I want to, with Myeza, challenge that to say, why can't I? And actually do it. My rule is do it and apologize after. Do it and apologize. Don't ask for permission. We're done asking for permission.
What advice would you give to aspiring designers?
Advice I would give to aspiring designers is do exactly what you want to do. Do not listen to me. Do not listen to the next person. Do not listen to your friends. Do not listen to your family. Do not listen to, do what you want to do. I want to love my idea. They want to send you ideas and they think, hey, maybe you should make this. Maybe you should do what you want to make, what you want to make. Trust me, there's someone out there looking for exactly what you're making. There really is. There really is someone. So stay steadfast, headstrong, and just do whatever it is that your head tells you to do creatively. And that's it. I feel like that's it.
That's it.
That's 20 questions. 20 questions. 20 questions, and yeah, that's a few things about me. And guys, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think we're only on like 24 today, so we need that number to rise. I need to be at 100 before the end of March. Please, 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 please. But yeah, have a great day, and I love you all.